Imagine walking into a Hollywood casting office in the 1940s. Everyone around you has perfectly styled hair, slicked back, pomaded, groomed to perfection. And then there is you, bald as an eagle, shiny head reflecting the studio lights. In an industry obsessed with appearance and image, you would think being bald would be a career killer. But you would be wrong. Today, we are exploring something fascinating. We are diving into the stories of 15 Golden Age Hollywood actors who rocked the bald look and became legends anyway. Some were naturally bald, some shaved their heads by choice, but all of them proved that you do not need a full head of hair to become a movie star. These men turned what could have been a disadvantage into their signature look. They became icons, character actors, leading men, and unforgettable presences on screen. This is the story of how being bald actually helped these actors stand out in the most glamorous era of Hollywood history. Before we dive into video, please subscribe our channel. Number 1. Yul Brynner. Let me start with the most iconic bald actor in Hollywood history. Yul Brynner. This man made being bald look absolutely powerful. He first shaved his head for his role as the King of Siam in the stage production of The King and I in 1951. He loved the look so much that he kept it for the rest of his life. When the film version came out in 1956, Brynner won the Academy Award for Best Actor. His bald head became his trademark. That shiny scalp, those intense eyes, that commanding presence. Brynner was not trying to hide anything. He owned his baldness completely. He went on to star in classics like The Magnificent Seven and Westworld. Always bald, always powerful, always memorable. Yul Brynner proved that being bald could be sexy. It could be masculine. It could be absolutely magnetic. He turned his bald head into one of the most recognizable images in cinema. Young actors today still cite him as proof that you do not need hair to be a star. Number 2. Telly Savalas. Telly Savalas started his career as a character actor with a receding hairline. Then in 1965, he shaved his head completely for his role in The Greatest Story Ever Told, where he played Pontius Pilate. Like Brynner, he loved the look and kept it. Savalas became famous for playing tough guys and villains. His bald head made him look menacing, distinctive, unforgettable. He was in The Dirty Dozen, on Her Majesty's Secret Service as a Bond villain. But his most famous role came on television as Detective Theo Kojak in the series Kojak. The bald, lollipop-sucking detective became a cultural icon in the 1970s. Savalas once said that shaving his head was the best career move he ever made. It gave him a unique look that casting directors loved. He stood out in every scene. That dome of his caught the light and drew your eye. Telly Savalas showed that bald could be cool, tough, and absolutely charismatic. Number 3. Erich von Stroheim. Now, let me take you back a bit earlier. Erich von Stroheim was a director and actor who started in the silent film era. He was bald on top with hair on the sides. That classic horseshoe pattern. Von Stroheim used his look to his advantage. He often played German or Austrian military officers. Cold, strict, authoritarian figures. His bald head added to that severe appearance. He had a reputation for being difficult and demanding as a director, but as an actor, he was unforgettable. His most famous role was in Sunset Boulevard in 1950, where he played Max von Mayerling, the devoted butler and former director to Gloria Swanson, faded silent film star. Von Stroheim brought dignity and sadness to the role. His appearance, including his baldness, made him look like a relic from another era, which was perfect for the character. He proved that older bald actors could give deeply moving performances. Number 4. William Frawley. You probably know William Frawley best as Fred Mertz from I Love Lucy. But before television, Frawley had a long career in films dating back to the 1930s. He was always bald or balding, that receding hairline and eventually completely bald top. Frawley played character roles: the friend, the neighbor, the grumpy sidekick. His everyman appearance, including his lack of hair, made him perfect for these parts. He did not look like a movie star, and that was exactly the point. He looked like someone you might actually know, a regular guy. Frawley appeared in dozens of films, including Miracle on 34th Street and My Three Sons later on television. He worked constantly throughout his career. His baldness never held him back. In fact, it probably helped him. He looked like a real person rather than a Hollywood creation. Audiences related to him, and that relatability kept him employed for decades. Number 5. Donald Meek. Here is an actor whose name perfectly described his appearance. Donald Meek was a Scottish-American character actor who appeared in over 100 films. He was completely bald on top with wispy white hair on the sides. Meek specialized in playing timid, nervous characters. His physical appearance, including his baldness and small stature, made him perfect for these roles. He was in classics like Stagecoach, The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, and State Fair. You might not remember his name, but if you watch old movies, you have definitely seen his face. That shiny bald head, those worried eyes. Donald Meek was a working actor who understood his type and played it brilliantly. His baldness was part of his character brand. It made him look vulnerable and older than his years. Casting directors knew exactly what they were getting with Donald Meek, and they hired him again and again. Number 6. Edward Arnold. Edward Arnold was a large man with a bald head who often played powerful businessmen and politicians. He had that imposing presence. Big body, big voice, bald head that suggested authority and experience. Arnold was in over 150 films during his career. He played Diamond Jim Brady in the film of the same name. He was in Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, a Meet John Doe directed by Frank Capra. Arnold could play sympathetic characters or corrupt villains. His baldness added to his gravitas. He looked like a man who had been around, who knew how the world worked. In the Golden Age, older bald men were often cast as judges and senators and business tycoons. Edward Arnold owned these roles. His lack of hair was never a problem. It was an asset that made him perfect for playing men of power and influence. Number 7. Eugene Pallette. Eugene Pallette had one of the most distinctive voices in Hollywood. Deep, raspy, unmistakable. He also had a round face and a bald head. Pallette started in silent films when he was actually quite thin, but by the sound era he had gained considerable weight and lost most of his hair. He became a character actor specializing in exasperated authority figures. He was Friar Tuck in The Adventures of Robin Hood with Errol Flynn. He played the frustrated father in My Man Godfrey. Pallette appeared in over 240 films during his career. His appearance, including his baldness, made him instantly recognizable. Audiences loved his comic timing and that incredible voice. The bald head just added to his character. It made him look like a man constantly irritated by the world around him. Eugene Pallette understood that in Hollywood, being memorable is more important than being conventionally handsome. Number 8. Guy Kibbe. Guy Kibbe was another character actor with a round bald head who worked constantly during the 1930s and 1940s. He specialized in playing friendly, bumbling characters, often small-town politicians or businessmen who were not quite as smart as they thought they were. Kibbe had a warm presence despite often playing buffoons. His bald head and cherubic face made him look harmless and approachable. He was in 42nd Street, Gold Diggers of 1933, Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, and dozens of other films. Kibbe was never a leading man, but he did not need to be. He made a great living as a character actor. His distinctive appearance, including that shiny bald dome, meant he was always in demand. Directors knew that Guy Kibbe would show up and deliver exactly what was needed. A solid professional who used his unique look to his advantage. Number 9. Frank Morgan. Frank Morgan is best remembered as the Wizard in The Wizard of Oz. He played multiple roles in that film, but the Wizard is the one everyone remembers. Morgan was bald on top with hair on the sides. He had a warm, befuddled quality that made him perfect for playing confused or overwhelmed characters. Before Oz, he had been working in films since the silent era. He was in dozens of movies, including Tortilla Flat and The Shop Around the Corner. Morgan brought a gentle humanity to his roles. His baldness made him look like someone who had been through life and come out the other side still kind. He was not threatening. He was not imposing. He was approachable and real. Frank Morgan showed that bald actors could play sympathetic everymen who audiences genuinely liked. Number 10. Charles Coburn. Charles Coburn did not start his film career until he was in his 60s. By then, he was quite bald with just hair on the sides and back. But Coburn became one of the most beloved character actors of the 1940s. He won an Academy Award for The More the Merrier in 1943. He was in The Devil and Miss, Jones, Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, Monkey Business. Coburn specialized in playing crusty but lovable older men, often wealthy businessmen or professionals who seemed grumpy but had hearts of gold. His baldness added to his grandfatherly image. He looked distinguished, experienced, wise. Coburn proved that you could start a successful film career late in life and bald as could be. His talent and charm mattered far more than his lack of hair. He became a star in his golden years when many men are forgotten. Number 11. Cecil Kellaway. Cecil Kellaway was a South African-born actor who had a long career in Hollywood. He was mostly bald with a fringe of white hair. Kellaway played friendly supporting characters in films like The Luck of the Irish, for which he received an Oscar nomination. He was also in Guess Who is Coming to Dinner late in his career. Kellaway had a gentle twinkle in his eye. He often played understanding father figures or kindly professionals. His baldness made him look wise and approachable. Not threatening at all, just a nice older gentleman who audiences trusted immediately. Kellaway worked steadily for decades. His appearance, including his bald head, made him perfect for certain types of roles. And he played those roles beautifully throughout a long and successful career. Number 12. Porter Hall Porter. Hall was a character actor who appeared in over 150 films. He was mostly bald and often played authority figures. Lawyers, judges, businessmen, sometimes sympathetic and sometimes antagonistic. Hall was in Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. The Thin Man, Double Indemnity. His baldness gave him a serious professional look. He appeared competent and established, like a man who had worked his way up in the world. Hall rarely got leading roles, but he was constantly employed. His distinctive appearance meant casting directors thought of him whenever they needed a certain type. The bald professional, the man behind the desk, the voice of institutional authority. Porter Hall made a career out of being recognizable and reliable. Number 13. Lionel Atwill. Lionel Atwill was an English actor who often played doctors and scientists in horror films. He was bald on top and had a commanding presence. Atwill appeared in films like Son of Frankenstein, The Mystery of the Wax Museum, and many others. His baldness added to his mad scientist look. He seemed intellectual, obsessive, possibly dangerous. Atwill had a successful career playing these types of characters. His lack of hair actually helped him get these roles. He looked like a man consumed by his work. Someone who spent more time in laboratories than worrying about his appearance. Lionel Atwill showed that bald actors were perfect for certain genre films. Horror and science fiction loved actors with distinctive, unusual looks. Number 14. Henry, Travis Henry. Travis is best known as Clarence the Angel in It Is a Wonderful Life. He was mostly bald with fluffy white hair on the sides. This gave him a perfect angelic appearance, soft, kind, otherworldly. Travers had a long career on stage and screen. He was also the grandfather in Mrs. Miniver, and he appeared in many other films. His baldness contributed to his gentle grandfatherly image. He looked like someone who would give you good advice, who would protect you, who had wisdom from a long life. Henry Travers never played tough guys or villains. His appearance, including that bald head, made him perfect for sympathetic supporting roles, and he played them beautifully for years. Number 15. Oskar Homolka. Let me end with Oskar Homolka, an Austrian actor who brought a thick accent and a bald head to Hollywood. Homolka often played Eastern European characters, professors, scientists, foreign dignitaries. He was in Hitchcock films like Sabotage. He appeared in The 7-Year Itch. I remember Mama got him an Oscar nomination. Homolka had a gruff exterior but could play warm characters underneath that rough appearance. His baldness made him look intellectual and foreign, different from the typical Hollywood actor, and that difference got him work. Homolka had a career that spanned decades. His unique look, including his lack of hair, made him memorable. Casting directors knew his name. Audiences recognized his face. Oskar Homolka proved that being bold and foreign and different could actually be advantages in Hollywood if you had the talent to back it up. So there you have it. 15 Golden Age Hollywood actors who were bold and successful anyway. Actually, let me correct that. They were successful partly because they were bold. Their unique appearances made them stand out. In an industry full of cookie-cutter handsome leading men, these character actors were instantly recognizable. You saw that bald head and you knew exactly who you were watching. This is an important lesson about Hollywood and about life in general. What seems like a disadvantage can actually be your greatest strength. These men could have worn toupees. Many actors did. They could have tried to hide their baldness with creative lighting and camera angles, but most of them embraced it. They owned it. They made it part of their brand, and it worked. Think about Yul Brynner shaving his head and turning it into one of the most iconic looks in cinema. Think about Telly Savalas doing the same and becoming a television legend. These men did not let society tell them that bald was bad. They showed everyone that bald could be powerful, distinctive, memorable, and absolutely successful. The golden age of Hollywood was obsessed with perfect images, but these actors proved that perfect is boring. Distinctive is memorable. Character actors with unique looks often had longer careers than the pretty leading men. Why? Because they were not competing based on youth and beauty. They were competing based on talent and memorability. A handsome leading man might have 10 good years before age catches up with him, but a great character actor can work forever. Look at Charles Coburn starting his film career at 60. Look at all these men working steadily for decades. Their boldness actually extended their careers because it made them perfect for playing older, wiser characters. They did not have to pretend to be young. They embraced looking experienced and mature. There is also something to be said about confidence. All of these actors had to be confident in their abilities to succeed without conventional good looks. They could not rely on a handsome face and great hair. They had to actually act. They had to bring something real to their performances. And they did. Every single one of them. They proved that talent matters more than appearance. That being memorable matters more than being beautiful. That owning who you are is more powerful than trying to be someone else. These lessons are just as relevant today as they were during the Golden Age. Maybe more so. We live in an image-obsessed culture. Social media makes everyone think they need to look perfect all the time. But these bold actors remind us that perfect is not the goal. Being authentically yourself is the goal. When you watch classic films, now pay attention to these character actors. Notice how they steal scenes from the leading men. Notice how memorable they are despite, or maybe because of their unusual appearances. Their boldness did not limit them. It liberated them. It gave them a niche, a brand, an identity that was entirely their own. The golden age of Hollywood gave us incredible leading men with perfect hair. But it also gave us these bald legends who proved that you do not need a full head of hair to leave a lasting impression. You just need talent, confidence, and the courage to be exactly who you are. These 15 actors had all of that in abundance. And that is why we are still talking about them decades after their films were made. The bold truth is that being different is not a disadvantage. It is your superpower if you know how to use it.